These people expected and wanted for you to fail. They never thought you'd be successful, but you proved them wrong. See, there are certain people who expect for you to fail. They expect for you to be unsuccessful. They expect for you not to succeed in life based on where you came from. There are some people who follow your history very closely, hold your past over you, and when you overcome the things that you've been through, the places that you come from, the people you're surrounded by, they tend to malfunction when you do not fit the stereotype of the box they put you into. There are some people who never expected for you to be successful. They were expecting and waiting for you to fail. And when that did not happen, they got very upset and began to dislike you. There are some people who make you guilty by association. What do I mean by that? They associate you with the people that you're around. They associate you with the people you grew up around. They associate you with your mother, with your siblings, with the people you went to school with the city that you came from. They associate you with all things bad. And when you go against that and prove them wrong, now they don't like you. There are some people who are hoping you turn out exactly like your mother was. They're hoping you turn out the same way your father was. They expected for you to have issues because your family had issues. And when that doesn't happen, they don't like you, they start plotting, or they start acting funny towards you. Now, disclaimer, you have nothing to prove. This is not to say that you should be going out of your way to prove people wrong, but it's a matter of fact that you absolutely will do that when you don't fit the stereotype of what they expected you to be. See, some people look at your mother and say, you're going to be just like her. And when you're not like that, they don't understand. They don't understand how you can come from the same lineage as them. You could come from the same family. You could come from the same city, and yet you and I are not the same. You and them are not the same. See, I'm going to be completely real with you. There are some people who expect for you to have a ghetto, hood rat, maybe trailer park, wherever you're from mentality. They don't think you can escape that simply because that's where you came from. And actually, they don't want you to escape it. See, some people can only be comfortable with you as long as you still identify with things that are low level, unambitious, and have no value. And see, people who see you as valuable now, see you as successful, see you as somebody, instead of being proud of you, they get intimidated by you. See, these people expected for you to fail. They wanted you to fail. And now that you're successful, they can't handle it. They start getting jealous. They start getting envious. They start going against you simply because you did not live up to the stereotype of what they expected you to be. These are typically your people who were around you in your childhood, but now they can't receive you as an adult because you don't fit the same standard, the low-level standard that you came up with. If you had a mother or a father that struggled with substance abuse, or they had mental health issues, or they had different issues in their life, and you grew up to be somebody completely different, you overcame those things, or you never went through those things, they will look at you as somehow you sold out. I know what I'm talking about. See, there are some people, because your mother had her issues, they think you think the same way. But you have to remind them, I'm not her. I'm not them. I come from this place, but my mentality is different. See, some people only identify with the struggle. And when you don't have the same struggle mindset, when you don't have the same defeated spirit, when you don't have the same kind of hopeless mentality, they don't know how to receive you. They expected for you to fail. They expected and wanted for you to fail, but now they can't handle your success. They can't handle the fact that you don't fit the same standard and stereotype that you came up with. And don't be surprised if the people who come against you or say that you sold out will be the people that you grew up with. Sometimes it can be your own family, it can be your own siblings who come against you simply because you grew up in the same household, but you all are different. See, some people are able to overcome stuff. Some people actually want to get better. And then there's some people who want to stay stuck. There are some people who want to stay stuck in the past. There are some people who want to stay angry, who want to stay miserable. But if you decided that you no longer want to identify with the struggle, you no longer want to identify with the things and the people you came up with, they're going to have an issue with you. People who get jealous of other people who did not fit the failure expectation that they had for you, they will always try to make you feel guilty for succeeding. I believe they call that survivor's remorse, when you feel guilty for overcoming something that people, especially people who are closest to you, are still stuck in. As women, as you mature, as you level up, as you get more spiritually connected to God, the way I see it, don't allow people to make you feel uncomfortable or uneasy simply because you overcame dysfunction. Some people only know dysfunction as the norm. These people expected for you to fail. They wanted you to fail, and now they cannot handle your success. They cannot handle the fact that you overcame where you come from. These people never thought you would be successful. They expected for you to fail. And the fact that you proved them wrong, now they don't like you. And that whole proving wrong scenario. Oftentimes, these people think that you're going out of your way to do things to show them who you are, what you have. But because they are not spiritually grounded, because they often are not mentally stable, they don't understand that it's not really anything that you did. It's just what happened in your life. The way I see it, if you have a spiritual connection to God, things will naturally change and you will not be stuck in the same stagnant struggle mentality that a lot of your people might still be in. And they don't understand it. They don't understand how you all can both grow up with a toxic mother, with a drug addicted mother or substance abuse addicted mother, alcoholic mother, father, what have you, and yet you don't deal with the same things. You seem to be living a relatively happy life while they are letting the things of the past still have a grip over them. What they don't understand about people who don't fit the expectation of failure that they set for them, a lot of times they don't understand that you actually fought for your peace. You fought for your peace of mind. You fought for your lifestyle, and you fought to get out of that environment. People who get jealous and envious of other people who remove themselves from dysfunction, who go after peace, they expect for you to wear struggle, trauma, and your past like a badge of honor. And when you don't do that, that's when they start coming in with the you think you're better than other people. That's when they start coming in with like, who do you think you are? Every time you come around, you're judging. Every time you come around, you're criticizing. And you could simply be calling out things that don't make sense or things that are harmful. But because they identify with struggle and dysfunction and do not know peace, they will come against you. These people expected for you to fail. They wanted you to fail, and that didn't happen. So now they don't like you. Now they come against you. Now they give you a hard time every time you're around. And that's why I encourage people oftentimes, when people are still stuck in the past, I'm going to sit on that for a minute, because there is something that will always have you bound up. If you're always in the past, and this is the reason why I always believe that as God continues to work on you and you continue to level up as a woman, as a person in general, it is very important that you disconnect from your past. Stop being around people who were there for you at your worst. They were actually enabling you in bad behavior. They might have celebrated the bad decisions you were making, but now that you are on the opposite end, you're doing better, they're still trying to bring that dysfunction into your life. You cannot be better in the same environment that destroyed you. And there are some people, simply because you removed yourself, now they don't want to have anything to do with you, or they try to pinprick you with their toxic behavior and mentality. These are your people who expected you to fail and you proved them wrong. These are your people who thought that you would always be in the gutter, in the trenches with them. And instead of being happy that you got out, they are now upset with you because you didn't decide to stay stuck like them. This happens more commonly in families than what you even know. Some families actually turn on people who do better for themselves simply because they did not do it. And it's not a competition, but many people make it out to be simply because they want to see you fail because they have failed themselves. People who give up on themselves often want other people to do the same. And when you don't do that, you have to expect you're going to trigger some jealousy and envy in other people. You're going to trigger some people to feel like they have to come against you and try to make you feel bad for your blessings. Do not let that faze you. As we say spiritually, if God delivered you from something, don't go back to that same thing. And some people are hoping that you will still be so caught up in the dysfunction that you are never fully free. But when you fully get free from that, they just don't know how to act. They want you to feel so bad about walking away from dysfunction that they will try to sabotage, they will try to get into your mind. More than anything, people try to play with your emotions and try to play with your mental. Especially when you're dealing with family who wants to see you stuck and hates to see you succeeding. When your own family, your own siblings, your own brother or sister wants to see you fail, when your own parents maybe don't like the fact that you're doing a little bit too well in life simply because they never made it, that can be very hurtful, but unfortunately this is very real for many people. And you can't even allow your parents or your family of origin to make you feel guilty for coming away from dysfunction. These people wanted you to fail. They expected you to fail. That didn't happen. And now they're upset with you. And you also see this with people that maybe you went to school with, people you grew up in the same neighborhood with. And honestly, when you get to a certain point in life, and this goes back to the whole not backtracking into your past, I don't really believe in being friends with people from high school, especially if I haven't seen you in years and all of a sudden you come out of nowhere, especially if you had issues and you were caught up in a lot of drama, a lot of dysfunction. If you are being peaceful in your life right now, things are going well for you, don't allow people from the past to come in and take you back to where you got away from. These are often your people who will bring up horrible, hurtful things from the past. They bring to your remembrance things that you forgot about, but they bring those things to your remembrance as if it happened the following day or the previous day. Don't take stuff like that lightly. These are people who might know certain things about you, things that you went through in the past, but you ask God to forgive you, or you actually work to redeem yourself in the eyes of other people. These people trickle in from the past to remind you that you're not as great as you think you are. To me, that is very wicked, that is very demonic, and is something that should not be tolerated. That's why I believe in leaving people from the past in the past, especially when they're dysfunctional. I don't mean people you haven't seen in a long time but you had a good relationship. I mean those toxic people who expected for you to fail, you didn't do that, and now they want to make their presence known in your life simply so they can destroy what you have worked so hard to build or what God has given you the opportunity to do. Those are the people you need to leave in the past. These people did not expect for you to succeed. They expected and wanted for you to fail, but you didn't do that. I'm going to go back to the whole guilty by association, because it's amazing how some people truly do identify you with the people you were around and the people you grew up with. If your mother had issues, and I can say this from experience, some people were very surprised at the fact that even though I might somewhat look like my mother, same smile, those kind of things, but the mentality and the way of life was completely different. And many people were surprised at the fact that, okay, have God in my life. I don't have no interest in any kind of street substance mentality or anything. Certain things I just don't identify with. But because of where I came from, they just knew I was going to be about that life. And then when I proved them wrong, suddenly it's like, oh, we really don't know her. Is she really family? Is she really friends? It's almost as if you become suspicious in the eyes of people who expected you to be bottom of the barrel mentality person, if that makes sense. These people expected and wanted for you to fail simply because of where you came from and who you came from. You're not the same. And it's okay for acknowledging that you might love your mother, you love your father, you love your family, but we are not the same. We do not think the same. We do not act the same. We do not adapt or subscribe to the same mentality. But some people, because of their ignorance, they expect for you to fail. They expect for you to be messy. They expect for you to be everything that is considered low level. And when you are not that, that is when that jealousy and envy begins to trickle in. When you get a sense that somebody only really wants to be around you when you're at your worst, meaning if you can subscribe to the most lowest level mentality, if you identify so much with struggle, and I'm not talking about per se struggling financially, because I would never put down a person who's going through financial challenges. There are a lot of people today going through financial challenges. I'm not talking about monetary struggle. I'm talking about people who adapt a struggle mindset that says I can never overcome, that I have to accept less than what I know I could be, what I can do, and what I deserve. These are your people who, instead of working for what they want, they'd rather you suffer with them and go the illegal route. Just an example. I'm not talking about financial challenges. I'm talking about a mindset. Some people have a struggle mindset that says, I can't do a resume, but I can stand on this corner though. Some people have a struggle mindset that says, okay, my daddy used to do this and he was fine in jail. I can do it too. But when you come up around that and you don't think that way, they don't get it. And now they get jealous. Now they get weird. Your own family, simply because you don't subscribe to the same things. You prove them wrong. These people expected for you to fail. That didn't happen. And now they don't like you. Now they're jealous. Now they're envious. Now they're trying to make you feel guilty for escaping dysfunction. Never feel guilty for living a life of peace, a life of joy, not a life that is perfect, because nobody's life is perfect, but there's a balance between being dysfunctional and struggle mentality and allowing people to keep you stuck, and between actually being successful. There is a balance, and you are not guilty by association. So what I mean by that is, if your parents were a certain way, that has nothing to do with you. You don't have to be the same way. And when you step outside of the box and you don't even look like you should be in your family of origin, there are some people who expected less from you. I know that might sound weird, but some people actually expect less from you. They expect for you to do the bare minimum. And when you don't do that, you actually excel in what you do. You like to go a little bit harder because you like to live better. Now you're doing too much. Be aware of people who want to dumb you down simply because your success is a threat to them. And you don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be somebody who's completely financially stable. You could desire to live a peaceful, functional life. And there will be somebody hating on you simply because you choose peace. Simply because you choose to not subject your family, your children, yourself to all those things that gave you a hard time when you were a child. These are your people who expected you to fail. They wanted you to fail, and you didn't. You proved them wrong. Don't feel guilty for it. All right? Like and subscribe to this channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.